And then there we were live. So we're live here at the Captain Future Show with Jack Sim. We're just gonna give people a couple of minutes to join in here.
Yeah.
So Bertola is my backdoor man. He's sharing this with us. So
Yes.
how are you doing, Jack?
Yeah, it's very good. Like we all in lockdown, so yeah, still at home.
Yeah, you're not allowed outside.
We can go outside, but we don't go to the office. We don't go to meetings.
Mm.
Yeah. Mm.
Yeah,
Mm.
you don't. But you can go in the park and stuff like that.
Yes, we can go
Yeah.
shop, buy
Mm,
something in the
mm, mm.
grocery store, but there's no shopping center. It's just only for food.
Mm.
Mm. Right?
Yes.
Are we waiting
So,
now?
some people are joining us now. So, hi everyone, and welcome to the Captain Future Show with Jack Sim and me, Michael Cillian, also known as Captain Future. So, we're going to talk about wisdom and playfulness and how do we build a better world together and stuff like that. So we're going to start with the introduction of you, Jack. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Who are you? What are you dreaming of? What are your current projects, or whatever you feel like?
So I'm from Singapore, and
Mm,
I have been working as a social worker for the last 33 years. I founded the World Toilet Organization and created the United Nations World Toilet Day, 19 November, which is the founding day of my organization, World Toilet Organization. And then recently, I built a World Trade Center for the poor to solve the global poverty. And I think the only way we can solve it is through uh, unlocking the people's ability to do business and to create jobs for themselves. And next, I'm studying platform cooperative. So use the digital economy to create cooperative, because if you have, for example, if Uber is owned by the drivers or Deliveroo is owned by the delivery boys, then I think we can distribute wealth better than it's owned by some investor and rich people. And the driver have to pay 30% every time they earn a dollar. It's not a good idea. So I'm trying to democratize the economy, but not in the extreme capitalism. Yeah, mostly I'm working for free, and I'm working only on social work. Yeah.
Ah, cool. So we met I met you the first time 3 years ago in Gothenburg and Oslo as well during Catapult Future Fest, and today it's actually the 17 Mai in Oslo, so there's a lot of people there as well. But what is it that makes you do what you do and travel the world and, like you said, work for free doing this?
Oh, because well, I'm 63 years old.
Mm,
So when I was 40, I realized that the people die at around 80. So I have only 40 years more to live. And how long is 40 years? It's 14,600 days. So that means at that time I have only 14,600 days, and then I will die. And today I have I don't know, I have a WhatsApp, I have an app here, and every day I check how many days I have. Today I have 6,136 days. So you can see here, 6,136 days. So I will die around
mm,
the age of on my 80th birthday, and every day is very, very precious. And if you use that day to make the world better, it's a good day. But if you use that day to watch Netflix or
Mhm.
to play Candy Crush or waste the time, it's a day shorter and you are always nearer to death. So I'm trying my best to be a useful human being. Long ago, I was thinking, oh, being rich is good or famous or powerful. And then when I was 40, I realized, no, this is not necessary. Because why? All this vanity goes away when you die. And everybody dies. So better use the time to do something good. And it really doesn't matter about having more money or less because you always have something to eat and a place to sleep and you can do good.
Yeah, too good. And I love you're full of humor and silliness and playfulness also. Have you always been this way, or is this something you learned during your life?
No, 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 it's natural. It's when I
Natural.
was when I was in school, I was always punished by my teacher. Uh, they would ask me to uh, stand in the sun because I was talkative, always talking in class. So the teacher will ask me to stand on the chair, or they cane me on the stage. So all these things they look like bad thing, but actually they are very good thing because um, also they ask me to write. I must not talk in class like 1,000 times on the paper, and it improved my handwriting speed. I could write very fast because of the training by the punishment. And when I was caned on stage, I became I have no stage fright, so I overcome going on stage. So nowadays I go on stage, I feel very comfortable. And when they ask me to stand in the sun, I have a lot of vitamin D, so I'm healthy. And when they ask me to stand on the chair, I can look down on the teacher. So it's not bad. Always, every time, be positive, you know.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Uh, so how have you used this ability to be playful and do public speaking? How did it shape your life?
Because the toilet is unspeakable by the serious people.
Mm.
People who are thinking about how to look good, they cannot talk about shit, you know. Shit is embarrassing. So
Shit.
for me, I can tell jokes and I can make fun of the subject, and then the media they love it very much. So they write so much about the subject, and the politician realize that my goodness, if I promise people to build toilet, I will win election. So suddenly all these jokes helps them win election. And in India, the politicians are challenging one another to build toilets. So eventually, Prime Minister Modi built 110 million toilets. And it's really, really amazing how storytelling can mobilize everybody. And now, President Xi Jinping in China is going on a toilet revolution. So we are also helping him to grow. Yeah. It's
Ah,
a fun job, you know. It's very
it's a
fun
fun
to
joke. Yeah.
do social work. Is very fun. Making money is not fun because it's very stressful. It's better
It's very
fun, and
yeah,
helping people are more fun. Yes.
more fun. Yes. So there's a very cool story about what you founded with the World Toilet Organization. It's called, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We also created the World Toilet College in India,
Mm.
and we train the workers, the unemployed people, casual workers who don't have a proper job. We um, train them to be toilet cleaner.
Mm.
And we create this school and we train 5,000 professional toilet cleaner and we place them into permanent job in hotels, in hospital, in
Mm.
shopping centers, in offices, and all of them now have regular job earning about $5 a day and good medical coverage. So we hope also to build a lot of World Toilet College everywhere in developing countries. If anyone wants to do that, just contact me. Yeah.
Yeah, great, great. So, do you have any examples when it didn't go your way when talking about shit? Has this scared
Uh,
people away sometimes?
yeah, there's a lot of companies who say, Jack, you are doing a good job, but um, our brand is so beautiful, we cannot associate with toilet. So they could not support us. So our work is mostly done with very little funding, but people like the work, so we just keep doing it. Uh, Most of the time, rejection happens when you talk to bureaucrats. If you talk to the government, it's most of the time very difficult. So you talk to politician is easier. I think the politician, they have something they want. They want to be popular. They want to be powerful and win election. So that's something we can talk about for them. But if you talk to bureaucrats, they want nothing. They just want to do nothing new. They want to do the same thing every day. Yeah. So it's harder.
Yeah, it's harder. So, so I'm thinking like, the world is this something we all do. Why is it so hard to talk about shit? Why is it
Yeah,
so taboo?
it's really funny, right? Because when you are a child, you
Mm?
talk about shit, and your parents scold you. Say, no, no,
Yeah.
no, don't. And one of the things is that shit is very poisonous. So
Mm,
inside 1 gram of shit, you can get 10 million pathogens.
mm,
So the shit is smelly because it's to protect you from touching it and
mm.
putting it in your mouth, right?
Yeah.
So this is the natural thing is to make you don't like shit. But if you don't talk about something, you cannot improve. So my job is to talk about it in a humorous way. It's just like a sex
Mm,
revolution. Long ago,
yeah.
nobody talked about sex. Sex is like wrong,
Mm,
and now there's nothing wrong as long as you are not intruding into somebody's privacy or forcing it. Sex is okay.
mm,
So toilet is something we go to the toilet 6 to 8 times a day. It's a taboo. Why?
mm.
We must talk about it. Then we have a good toilet culture,
Yeah.
because toilet is the happiest room in the world. If you go to the toilet, you're not happy, but when you come out of the toilet, you are so happy. So
Yeah.
toilet make you happy, why can't you talk about it? Of
Yeah.
course you can. Yeah.
And thanks to the modern smartphone, many people are spending a lot more time in the toilet than before as well. So many people like the break of going to the toilet, scrolling through their social media and everything right now.
You see, there's more than 2 billion people who still don't
Yeah.
have toilet.
Yeah.
And how can we live in a world where we can go to the moon and go to Mars and
Mm,
talk about
yeah.
fantastic thing, and so rich people
Mm,
have so much money, but
mm,
two over billion people don't have toilet. So this
yeah.
is really unacceptable. And
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
we have something. Yeah.
Everyone celebrates Elon Musk for building rockets and sending people to the space station. Now, I think it's in 2 weeks' time he's going to send the first man crew in his rockets. But there's no talk about celebrating people building better toilets and everything.
Well, I'm
Except
the
you, of
Elon
course,
Musk for
you're
toilet,
the man doing that.
but I don't know what Elon Musk want to do,
No,
because sometimes you think people want to be awesome,
no.
But why go to Mars when you have so many problems on the planet? You have 1 billion people who don't have drinking
Mm,
water,
mm,
clean drinking water. They drink dirty water, right?
yeah.
You have 1 billion people who don't have electricity. You have 2 billion people who don't have toilet. And every year, 9 million people die of hunger. Why
Mm.
go to Mars? Stay here, solve the problem here.
Mm. Yeah, I don't know if you heard also like shitting is in space is no is no easy project. So there's a fantastic interview with one of the astronauts how everything works on the space station in toilets and if you pull your own shit out and everything because it's there's no gravity that pulls your shit out.
Yeah, yeah. I think the space toilet is still very primitive. It's like a caveman, you know.
Yeah.
You are actually shitting into tags and then shafting it into the container. I think they invent spaceship, but they didn't invent the space toilet.
No,
Yeah.
so funny. And we have a question here from Bartola. Say, how do you enable a movement? In regards to what you do, of course. So, how do you enable a toilet movement or a sanitation movement or clean water drinking movement?
So movement they are formed
Mhm.
uh, by a you don't take control. You create triggers
Mm.
and you tell stories and people feel about this story and then they say, yes, we have to join in because this is important. So movement is a little bit like a religion. It's a belief system. If you believe in a story, then you join the story, right? So at first, Donald Trump says, I'm going to make America great again. So a lot of people join him, right? Now he's saying, I'm going to make America shit again. Then people will join the story. So this is a movement. Movement is like that, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I will make a great America shit again. Yeah. Yeah. So this is also very special. I know there were during the COVID outbreak two months ago, people ran to the stores grabbing toilet paper. Is this a sign that there's something more important going on in our world than people can talk about it? Why was everyone running for toilet paper? Do you think you can use silliness or humor for this as well?
It is a very clear human instinct because
Mm,
if you cannot go to the toilet,
mm.
everything else is not important, right?
Right?
If you
Yeah.
cannot shit,
Mm,
everything else is not important. Of
yeah.
course, that is because this is a wiper culture.
Mm.
So half of the world are using toilet paper, and
Mm.
half of the world are using water. So
What?
if
Yeah.
they use water, they don't need toilet paper, but they need soap.
Mm.
So there's also a rush for the soap. Yeah.
Yeah. Soap and toilet paper.
Yes.
The very fundamental things. So have you seen any changes now during the last 2 months and people talking more about important things? I know I follow all your posts on Facebook. You said you say a lot of wise and smart things. I think so.
Yeah, I think in the COVID-19, we realized that first of all, we don't need to buy luxury goods. We
Mm,
also don't need to go shopping.
mm,
We don't need to do a lot of things. And then we enjoy family life so much. We are together with our family. I have never been having so much time with my family before.
yeah.
And I have 4 children and I starting to get to know them, right? Because in the past, I only know my wife. And my children, I give them to my wife and they take care and I travel all the time. Now I come home, I talk to my children. I find they're quite nice people. So we play mahjong together at
Yeah.
night. It's very fun. And
It's
I
very.
start to think, why did I keep on traveling? Why don't I
Mm,
spend more time with my family?
yeah. And it's not you; it's the whole world who suddenly discovered they had a family.
Yes. You
Yeah.
see, men different from women. Women
Yeah.
have a family.
Yeah.
Yeah, woman owns all the children and
Mm,
owns the house. Everything belongs to them. The man is wondering, what am I useful for
mm,
in the family? They don't need me. If I pay the bills, then that's my job,
mm,
and it's so boring. So we go out and we go and do all the kind of thing. In my case, I travel so much, and seen the world, and it's quite fun to work with all kind of strangers and meet people like you and
Mm.
Bertola and everybody. But when you come home, uh, the children are sleeping and everyone is working. But now nobody is working. They're working from home,
Mm.
and you meet them. So I'm starting to feel the joy of being a father and a husband. The husband, I've always enjoyed my wife the most, but now I enjoy to be a father.
Yeah. So, uh, do you think what can we use our time with then when we're at home instead of watching Netflix and stuff like that and playing Candy Crush? What should we what should we focus on when we're home with our family? Because okay, it's fun for the first week just sit around playing with them, but then we realize we have a lot of time to focus on things. What should we use that time for?
It depends on your interests, but
Yeah.
if you're interested uh, to change the world, you must contact me. You
Mm.
can email to me, and you can share my email to everyone. It's okay,
Mm.
and then uh, I can work with you on many kind of things. For example, we can design a solution that is already found in another place. Then we copy the solution and transfer it to another place. So far in the world, whether it is water, sanitation, electricity, solar energy, drip irrigation, nutrition, housing, education, transport, everything is solved. Even microfinance is all solved. But they didn't share the information. So I want to create this digital platform where everyone is sharing with each other. And when you have that, then you can solve the problem uh, by copying. You
Yeah.
don't need to invent again. Yeah. And then if you still don't know, you can ask the person who you're copying from. So I'm trying to facilitate this kind of copy for good movement.
Copy for good, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like we need to share a lot more. We might have to drop the ego and realize that we can't invent and improve anything unless we start sharing and collaborating for real. So,
Yesterday, I was talking
mm.
to a 75-year-old person in South Africa. He has developed a lot
Mm.
of training course for uneducated people and low education people and how to learn how to start a business. So I said to him, why don't you share this with everybody? And he says, no, they must pay me something. I said, they are very poor. They cannot pay you anything. So why don't you help them? Then he says, if I give it for free, how am I going to have food to eat? And I say, this is two separate problems. One problem is people need the knowledge that you can have, and we should digitize this and give to everyone for free. And the second problem is you need to eat, right?
Yeah.
Of course, everyone need to eat. So if you can earn 3,000 US dollar, it's enough? He said, yes, it's enough. Then by giving out free, we can ask somebody to help you survive for $3,000 US a month. And you know why you must do this? Because you have only 5 years before you die. You're already
Mm.
75 years old. So in these last 5 years is the only chance to help the world with what you know. And if you still don't do it now, maybe it's too late. Even when you decide to give up for free, you are already dead. So
Yeah.
try to separate the problem of your own survival and the problem of the world.
Yeah.
The world is first. And for some reason, you always have some food. I don't know why. We never we never die on the street of hunger. Yeah. So I think having some food to eat is not
Mm.
a serious problem. Wasting the time is a serious problem. And losing the opportunity to help other people is a very serious problem, especially you already can help and you have all this knowledge. Go ahead and share with others.
Yeah.
So now I have brainwashed him a little bit. He's
Brainwash him. Yeah.
starting to make he's starting to make digital lectures. So I tell him, go on the camera, record your lecture, digitize it, and start sharing with everybody.
Start sharing your knowledge and wisdom. Yeah.
Yeah, so easy.
So easy. I know a good friend of me and Bertola called Rihan is encouraging everyone everywhere to do this as well. Have you met Rihan? He's a big fan of
Yeah,
yours.
I met Rehan in Singapore also, and
Yeah.
I have never been to Pakistan. I hope to go visit one day. I don't know what do I do there. So if I have a program, I can go visit them and maybe give some lecture in a big group and do some fireside and answer all their questions.
Yeah.
And if they want to start up something, we help them grow that, you see. Because committed people, serious people who want to help the world, not so many. There is so few that we have time to teach and help all of them. There are too few. A lot of people are so busy with their own life, they forgot about purpose
Yeah.
and meaning. So those who want
Purpose.
purpose and meaning, serious, please come. Yeah, you please type my email and tell everyone. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Hmm.
Yeah. Y- Type it in my messenger and I'll share it here. So,
Yeah.
and we have a question from Bertola also. What is the next step in the World Trade House you're building in Singapore?
Yeah. So it's already completed. The
Mm,
building is done, and what we are doing now is to get all the people on the SDG related interests to come together and share and meet each other. So we are now designing the program and the promotion, but we don't have a chance to go to the building because we are not locked down now for a few months. So the
uh,
building is empty and I'm losing money every day, but it's okay, you know, life is like that. Yeah.
mm. Yeah, we can catalyze massively, Bertola says. So together we build a network that help each other over the world, especially now that we have time on Zoom. We do the groundwork for when we are allowed outside again. So what are your thoughts about that? What is the best way to spend your time on calls like this and other things to share wisdom and knowledge and inspire us and silly and funny stories to inspire people to a moment? What should we do here? Have you have any advice for me, people like me who try to use silliness as well? So,
Yeah, yeah. I think that when you behave in a silly way, people remember
mm,
because um, bizarre things is very easy to remember,
mm,
you see. But we do it for a purpose, yeah, not
mm,
just for audience, not just talk shop,
yeah,
but actually making something happen through people. So we have recruited a lot of students. You see, now students after COVID, they graduate, they cannot find a job. So we want
mm,
to train them to create their own jobs. So we are now starting a course on the platform cooperative. And this is how people can create their own jobs by working as in partnership with a lot of people. So imagine we create software that can apps that can replace Deliveroo, that can replace Uber. You know,
yeah,
it's not very difficult. And if all these are owned by the drivers and the delivery man, we can go to cleaning and all that, and you have more and more owners, and they are investing with their work, with their labor, not investing in capital. Because these people who invest in capital, they always need a 30% return or something like that, something ridiculous.
yeah,
And they and they are all out there for money. First of all, why do you need so much money? A human being doesn't get so much time to spend this money. So all these people who earn a lot of money, they actually don't have time to spend it. And then they will die with a big bank account. And they don't even know why are they doing this, because every day that they are making the money, they are exchanging their time for the money. This is a loss-making business. This is a bad deal. When you give time and exchange for money, the time is more precious than the money. So, especially the money that you are not going to use. So what happened? On the last day of the life of a rich man, yeah, a billionaire, he's going to die. He will
Yeah.
say, somebody please show me my bank balance. And then he say, oh, I have $1 billion. Then he died.
And then
Is
he
this
die.
meaningful life? Very meaningful. No, it's not meaningful. It's
No,
stupid. It's
it's very
completely
stupid.
stupid. Or you say, please carry me to the window. I want to see all my Ferrari.
I want to
No,
see my whole empire from here.
yeah, it's stupid.
It's
No
stupid.
use.
No.
If on the last day of your life, you say that I have done my best and I
Yeah.
have seen people life gets better, even if they don't say it's because of me, they say it's because of themselves, that is the best.
Yeah,
And
that
if
is the best.
everybody is growing by their own effort, this is success. Help people
Mm.
not to get a return. The return is you feel good in your heart. That is the return.
Yeah. We need more silliness with purpose programs to move the world in the right direction, Bertola says. Yeah, certainly.
You know, silly is child. A
Mm.
child behaves silly. But stupid is different. For
Stupid is very
example,
different. Yeah.
the current world, we have the winner and the loser. And they ask everybody to be a winner. Why to be a winner? Because every time you are a winner, you must create thousands and millions of losers. Somebody
Mm.
must lose to let you win. That means your purpose of this game design is not to
Mm.
create winner, but to create massive number of losers. It's a stupid game. Now, 4 billion people are in poverty. So you call them loser. And then 80 billion air owns half of the world. You call them winner.
Mm.
You are making the world badly distributed. The
Mm.
distribution of wealth is so uneven because of this winner and loser game. And this game is ubiquitous. You play computer game, you want to be a winner.
Mm.
You play sports, football, you want to be a winner. You play, even you run, you want to run faster. And you have to
Mm.
destroy your body to run faster. You have to destroy your body to carry a higher weight. You have to go boxing and punch each other until you have Alzheimer's disease. What
Yeah.
for?
Yeah.
Stupid. Yeah.
And Bertola even says the typical hackathon also designs for a winner and celebrate the winner on stage afterwards. We have to change the whole model of that as well.
We have to defeat
Mm.
not our friends, but to defeat the problem.
Yeah.
The design is the good design is to defeat the problem, not to defeat another person. I watch a Miss Universe contest. Every girl is pretty, but they got one and say this one is the most pretty. But then, by creating all these girls that are pretty, they
Mm.
forgot all the people that don't look like this. But these people are human beings, and then they are also good people. Now, do they have to look like this with big breasts and
Mm.
small waist and beautiful eyes? Not everybody look like this. So this
Mm.
kind of winner and loser creates so much inferiority complex that the girls start to think, oh, I'm not pretty. No, you are just who you are. You are
yeah.
fine. You are a good person. That's it. Don't compare yourself with Miss Universe.
Oh,
And every game in the world is designed winner and loser. And this is a fundamental wrong design. The true billionaire must be one that is improve the life of a billion people. If he has $1 billion, nothing to do with us. He keep his money, he show off. Why should we surrender our inferiority complex to these people who have superiority complex? And do
yeah.
you know what is superiority complex? It is a manifestation of inferiority complex.
Yeah, exactly.
The people who feel very rich is because they think they are not rich enough. That is their problem.
Yeah,
Their problem is the
yeah,
same as everybody's problem.
yeah. And
So
they think they're not enough, so we have to help people to become enough on the inside.
yes, we
Mm,
have to tell people you are okay. You
mm,
are a good person. Now
mm,
go ahead and behave like a good person should, not
mm.
like a sad person. And we
Yeah,
are designed to be happy. We are designed to be childish, to be
mm,
carefree, yeah, to be
yeah,
silly. And go ahead and do silly things and be happy about yourself. You see, because if you're always wondering and doubting and
mm,
oh, am I still good enough? Am I too fat? Am I uh, pretty? Or all these things are so unnecessary. Just say to yourself, I'm good.
I'm
And
good.
everybody is also good. And we live in a good place called Earth,
Mm.
and we're going to be nice to each other. So simple.
So simple, very simple. Yeah. So, anything you want to ask me, Jack?
Yeah, what is the purpose of your life? What
What
do
is
you
the
want
purpose
to,
of?
yeah,
Yeah,
on
yeah,
the last day of your life, what do you want to say to yourself?
yeah. I want to say that I did everything I did to help people become a better version of themselves. So that's my goal. That's I spent the last 10 years full time on a personal journey, discovering myself and discovering the world and how I can contribute. And now the rest of my life, I want to contribute to help all people on earth become better version of themselves, more kind, more wise, more empathetic, more silly, more playful, and all that stuff. So that's what I want to spend my life doing and help everyone to become better humans.
How do you know that they're changing?
Yeah, I I can't measure it, but I can get the feeling the people around me they become more playful and more silly. That's certainly things I can see in people, especially people I talk to on my shows and all the Zoom calls I've been hanging in. So I inspire silliness and playfulness wherever I go in Zoom calls, and people take it. Some people take it up. So
Yeah,
mm,
you know, if they start to copy you
mm,
and start to do the to influence the other people, then you know you are successful. Yeah,
yeah,
make it a movement. Make
make it.
make
Mm,
fun and make silliness
mm,
purpose meaning the movement. And if they start to behave like what you are doing in their own way, not the same
mm,
way, I think that will
yeah,
be success. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. No, don't copy me. Become your own version of yourself. So
Yes.
yeah,
Yes. Mm.
yeah.
Normally, how long is this kind of conversation?
I usually go around an hour, so we have a little bit left. So, and if anything more you want to highlight now that you're now that you're on the
Oh,
subject of the subject I like to talk most of us is silliness, playfulness, and wisdom. So,
yeah.
mm,
I think that when I failed everything in school, it was a very good start because
mm,
I have nothing to lose. So I went to do business
mm,
and I make some money. And then I do social work because I realized that I'm growing nearer to the grave every day.
Mm.
So
Yeah.
I have to use the time. So what I felt is that we should ask people a few questions, and then the people who are listening in, they can ask themselves. First of all, where am I going? If at the end of my life, what do I like to see happen? So if they say I like to, I like to, let's say, um, build something or see some change
Mm.
or study deep sea diving and do all kind of photography or whatever. Where am I going? This question, when we ask a lot of young people, they say they don't know. So we want them to think, where are you going? And then, where am I now on the journey going over there?
Yeah.
And who am I will discover when I answer the question, how can I get there? So if you have these few questions, where am I going? Where am I now? How do I get there?
Mm.
And in this getting there, you will discover who you are. Because most people very hard to define who they are. We are multifaceted, but our action, our beliefs will define who we are. You don't want to live a whole journey being afraid. If you
No.
live your whole life being afraid, afraid to be behind, afraid to lose, afraid to be bankrupt, afraid to die, afraid to be sick, afraid to trust, afraid to care, afraid to love,
Mm.
you live a wasted life. But if you live a life of love, fearlessly, you become like your mother. When your mother gave birth to you, she didn't have a business plan. She didn't say, this project, which is
Mm.
you, is going to be 5 years plan.
Mm.
And in these 5 years, if I cannot have money to bring up this baby, I will go next door and give it to the neighbors. Mothers don't do that. Mothers do not plan to fail. They don't even plan. They have something better than plan. They have a decision that is non-negotiable. They say
Non-negotiable decision.
non-negotiable. The moment they have a child, they say, I don't know how I'm going to do it, but this child will be healthy and go to school and have a good career and become a good human being for society. And most of them also say, this child will produce grandchildren for me. And it's a clear plan without details because all of them execute it adaptively and all of them succeed. The majority of mothers succeed. And this is the spirit we must have in our life. Where are you going? You will have all resources to reach there if you behave like your mother. And you know your mother succeeded because you are still a good person. If your mother failed, you would already be dead, but you didn't die. Therefore, you can follow how your mother's spirit of survival and her determination of success. And you will be successful also.
Yeah. So that's the plan. No, not the plan then. that's the
It's the
that's the way
decision.
to go. The decision, yeah. So to have a direction and then in a narration to follow. How am I a good person in doing this? I think.
Yeah. And if she lost her job because
Mm.
of COVID, she will not stop making sure her baby is successful. She continues. And because necessity is the mother of invention, she will invent all the solution and make it happen. Yeah.
Yeah.
So there is no fear in her. And when you live fearlessly, you always succeed.
Yeah.
Failure caused by fear. No fear, no failure.
No fear, no failure. Because there was nothing for you to fail.
Nothing to fail
There was no
because
plan to fail. No.
there is no doubt, no
Mm.
self doubt, right?
Yeah.
Do
Exactly.
not they do not have to
Mm.
worry if things don't work because
Mm.
they assume it works. Yeah.
Mm. So people joining in, we're gonna share Jack's email if you wanna email him and contact him about your dreams and your projects and everything. And you're welcome, like Bertola says, to have any last questions for the last part of this show. Just type them in Facebook, or if you're on YouTube, I will see them here directly. Um, and it's been amazing time talking to you, Jack, and like. During this time, especially during this COVID time, we realized a lot about what it is to be human and have a family and have a purpose, and so many of us. But there's a great risk that after this, people are trying to get back to the old world as fast as possible and forget that this ever happened. So, how do we change the story and the narrative that we keep this in mind for a long time? That what is really important in life.
Some people will change after COVID,
Mm.
and many will not. I remember in 2003 there was a SARS in
Mm.
Asia. Everybody were taking care of each other, very united, making
Mm.
sure people don't get sick, wash their hands, really nice. And suddenly, SARS is over. They go back to their same old ways, don't wash their hands, don't care about other people, forgot that we are
Mhm.
actually living together as a community, and
Yeah.
selfishness returned. So I think it's going to happen again unless we make a decision to change. It has to be very conscious.
Mm.
Otherwise, you will just go on as before. So what I think we can do is to just say we survive COVID-19 and we are living in bonus time. And because we are living in bonus time, we want to do the best we can for others because we could have died, but we didn't. So since we are having good luck, let's help other people be lucky as well.
Yeah.
I think that the joy of helping other people is quite different to understand if you didn't start. But the moment you start, then you enjoy it. And then you couldn't stop after that. So just start to be kind, and you will realize that the chemistry in your body is no more toxic, and you are very harmonious and very light, and the stress level in your life, in other aspect of your life which could have been stressful before,
Mm.
they slowly disappear because once you have love, the fear reduce.
Yeah. So we are lucky, and let's help other people to become lucky as well. So.
Yes, yes.
Mhm.
I think human life are very fragile,
Mm.
so try to treat it with humility. Don't be arrogant. I've seen arrogant people. You know, people are arrogant when they are full of fear, when they are afraid of criticism,
Yeah.
when they are afraid of other people. But there's no
Yeah.
need to do.
No.
There's
When
no
they're
need. There's no need to be afraid because the only thing that can happen bad for you is you die, and you are sure to die. So Yes,
Yeah,
what you
yeah. Like they're afraid of losing a game where there's winners and losers. But if we play a different game where we're all winners, we all share, we all help each other, there are no losers. So then there's no
yeah.
need to be arrogant and have fear because everyone is there to help you. They're not there to make you lose.
So you can choose anything you want to do. You can help the e-commerce,
Mm.
help create this access to sharing information. And if you don't know any idea what to do, you just email me and I will connect you to a project and you can do it yourself. And no need to acknowledge that I have helped you because doesn't matter. Every day I talk to strangers all over the world, and if it's useful for them, that is my reward.
Yeah.
Hmm. What else do uh, Bertola do nowadays?
Bertola, we're working on the Learning Society project, mostly Bertola in Trondheim, connected to the 17 SDGs. So it's very interesting, and we're of course figuring out what to do with our lives after, during, and after this crisis as well. Like most of the events we were working on went away, so we have new focus here, and I focus on um, the inner journey, personal transformation, and lifelong learning. And Bartola's focusing a lot more how to build communities and building social capital. And together we're a good match, but we're always looking for new adventures and new partners in this. So.
And Rehan, what is he doing?
Rihanna's having a very good time. Finally, the world went digital. The things he was talking about for for many years. So finally, people are start using digital in a new way, starting talking to each other. So he says this is the best time for in human history to be alive because finally we're starting communicating, sharing, teaching, learning using digital in the way it was meant to be, like the best purpose of digital. But not everyone is doing it, but a lot of more people are suddenly doing, and everything that was impossible half a year ago, when you distant learning, distant communication using video talks instead of actually traveling, meeting people, it's suddenly possible. So he's having a very good time in this as well.
One of the thing I hope he can do is to destigmatize the image of Pakistan.
Yeah.
You see, the Western media has created a very bad image of Pakistan, of Muslim,
Mm.
and if you didn't understand this country, you think that there's every day there's shooting and bombing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but actually there's normal life that's going on everywhere.
Yeah.
But the Western media sensationalize things and create division and create hatred and all these things. So
Yeah.
I hope that the people gets to understand that human beings everywhere are more or less the same.
Yeah.
Whether you're black people, brown people, yellow people, white people, actually what we want is same. And I have traveled all over the world and I understand there's nothing to be afraid of other people. You will have different opinion, different belief, but you are just fundamentally the same. It's the
Yeah.
politician who wants to create all sell some weapons, you know.
Mm. No.
Don't
We
listen to Donald Trump. It's
no.
terrible.
We're all children, and most of us are parents, and we all shit, and we all eat, and we all sleep, and we all sit in our sofas. Many people, at least, watching this, have sofas. Not all people have sofas, and not all people have toilets and clean water yet, but we're working to that. Every person needs a toilet and clean water, and in that we are the same. We can eat and drink the same all over the world. And me and Bertola went a month to Pakistan in November last year, and it was a fantastic journey. And we make friends everywhere. That's our part of our goal: to making friends every corner of the world.
Yeah, I will plan a trip and hope to
Mm,
learn about this country because
mm,
there's so many people there and they are all good people.
They're all good people. They were a very friendly country. I never had such a friendly experience anywhere in the world, like in Pakistan.
Yeah, and the Indians who are listening in, they are
Mm.
your neighbors. It's
Yeah.
no problem. They are good people.
Mm.
And the Pakistan people, the Indians are also really nice people.
Yeah.
So no need to worry or create any preconceived idea. It's the politician who is benefiting from all
Mm.
these divisions. Yeah,
Yeah. The warmongers and the people profiting from war. So yeah.
don't
Mm.
believe them. Yes.
Yeah. We have a last question from Albert here. What advice does Jack have for African youth and our leaders in COVID-19 situation? Albert is in, I think it's Kenya. And Albert, yeah.
So thanks. I've been to uh, Nairobi. I've been to
Mm.
Rwanda, in
Mm.
Ethiopia, in Nigeria, in South Africa. I've seen the really, really good people. People are the same. Um,
Mm.
the politics is very bad in a lot of these countries, right? So what you should do is stop believing that the politician will help you.
Mm.
Create your own solution as if the politician don't exist, and then you will not have this distraction, because especially in South Africa, they have a thinking that the politician will solve their problem, but they also don't believe that the politician will solve the problem. So it's a very paradoxical
Mm.
situation. So what you do is just imagine that the politician don't exist. What will you do? You will organize your own community. You will get the people together, and I think a cooperatives is very good way, because if you create cooperative, you can solve a lot of problem with a small effort. I have an idea that all this hygiene, food hygiene issue in Africa, we could copy the Singapore hawker center, where all the food are cheap and delicious and clean, and their toilets are clean, the wash area are clean, there's no rats, no birds, no cockroaches,
Mhm.
and everything is 100% safe. And when you can copy this idea about food center in Singapore into Africa everywhere, you will suddenly have the TripAdvisor rating that this is the best place to eat, cheap and clean and good and hygienic, and you will have a tourism boom. Then you
Yeah.
will create jobs from there. So every little solution that you can copy, you should copy.
Yeah.
And we used to have a lot of flood caused by our food vendor, because
Mm.
they were on push cart, and all their waste food they will throw in the drain. Imagine all this rice and noodles and everything in the drain packaging. Then when the rain come, everything flood, and then flood cause loss of property, diseases. Yeah, even the crocodiles can swim out from the farm and start eating up some children. So I think at one time our prime minister say, everybody is not allowed to sell food on the street. You must go to a fixed place. And this is where hawker centers start. And when we have that, we have safe food, and it became a UNESCO heritage that we are submitting for approval now.
Yeah. So create clean food places and copy and remix. That's human innovation is always see what someone else do, copy it and make it better. So like
The Singapore freshly cooked food is
mm,
cheaper than the McDonald's.
yeah,
Right? McDonald's is more expensive. So we are having a very wonderful life, because it costs the same to be clean, and it costs the
mm,
same to be dirty. So
mm.
be clean. You will save a lot of people from diseases.
Yeah, exactly. So
Good.
yeah,
So we close now. We have
yeah,
1 hour. Yes.
1 hour now. Fantastic to having you on, Jack, and I would love to have you on more times now that I'm finding a good way to host my Captain Future show. And if for
Mm.
people staying tuned, tomorrow I will have Thomas Björkman on talking about also how do we solve what he calls the meta crisis, all the problems baked into one. And I will also talk to Dave Snowden this week about complexity and systems and things like that. So how everything comes together. And he talks a lot about narration and story as well. So the
Thank you.
last message, Jack, what do you want to leave people with now? Go out. What should we go out and do? I have some several here, but
Well, it's very important to accept yourself for who you are and to say to yourself that you are a good person. And once you believe that, everything you do will be according to that belief. So smile, be happy, you are a good person. Thank you very
very good.
much.
Thank
Okay.
you. Bye,
Thank you.
everyone.